Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, we'll take few minutes to see how this practice will help us to develop our conventional understanding regarding practice, this meditation, and at the same time, out of this understanding, how we can gain our spiritual development. So when it comes to our life, as ordinary people, why we need to practice this meditation? Because our mind is not enough to understand the reality, or our mind is not enough to absorb the truth. Even in a very conventional level in day-to-day life, sometimes we can't accept the truth. And when we hear that, we get disappointed sometimes, get mad, get angry. So then how about when it go to the deeper, this is spiritual reality. So that's why you need some kind of mental strength, mental purity, mental ability to absorb the reality. Because we are so comfortable with our own believing, our culture, tradition, whatever we see in day-to-day life, that comfort itself hold us. And sometimes when we see the truth, or when we connect with the reality, our own inner nature not allowed to do so. So that's why it's kind of practicing yourself. It's kind of like you go against the current. That current doesn't mean these outside things. That current means that you have deeper inner current that come with this habitual patterns. So for that, there is a way that you have to develop your practice, because this is something. There is, try to understand this. There is a truth, there is a reality that can understand by the mind, but still You can't see through your eyes. Just imagine. When you can't see through your eyes, how are you going to get it to your mind? That's where the meditation works. But it is not something that visualizing, dreaming, we try to get. Because if you try to do that, then again your mental formations start to develop something. Then it's not going to become the truth. So there is a mechanism when it comes to this life. There is a mind and there is a body. There is a consciousness and there is a matter. There is a thought, there is a form. So this all interconnected, and at the same time, it all in the deeply the mind, that is mind is the very base, mind is the creator, mind is the foundation, but the very nature of the mind, it is immediate impermanent. That means it's changed so fast. But even though it changed so fast, that change itself, listen this very carefully, not beyond that the change itself create another thought. Because in case in the depth of that the mind doesn't change, then anything you can't experience. So that immediate change, immediate impermanent, itself creates something in front of you to experience. So then what you experience arise as a result of change of the mind. With your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. So with this all the perception, what you experience, it is a very result of the change of the mind. That change, remember, it's not kind of like once a while. No, it's a very immediate change. There's no moment to hold. So then just imagine then yourself that when you come to your experience of life, now you have something and you experience something, but that experience itself you hold as kind of like a permanent form, like a matter, like a body. So that's why it is very difficult to, it's not actually difficult, but because our mind not matured to understand this truth. Because when you experience something solid, like a form, then there is a very difficult for you to reverse the mechanism or withdraw from it and see how it arises. So that's why it's kind of like you have to develop certain kind of mental state, kind of like you have to develop the mind to certain frequency. Like as children, we had a very childish mind, thoughts. Just imagine now when you become an adult, you anymore not valid that yourself, that all the childish actions or the thoughts. So what happens? Of course, as a child, you thought that is the world. But when you become matured in this very conventional level, in this material world, when you become matured anymore, you can't be with it. So like that, then there is a kind of like a very hidden truth around us. Until you become matured, until you attain to the kind of like a higher frequency in your mind, you can't get it. So then it's getting to that. First thing you have to remember, it's kind of like a developing introspection inside you, have the awareness, and first thing you have to know, there is something beyond that what you experience. So it's kind of like that dust in our eyes. If you just don't recognize it, that whatever that you see with that disturbed eye, you're going to recognize as the world. But one should know there is dust and one should clean it. Then you're going to see something more clearly. So like that, what you experience today is kind of like the world you accumulated with the some kind of unclear mind. So it's like when it come to the very nature of the mind itself is a kind of like naturally itself, it's a light. It's light, pure. So just try to understand a little bit clearly. So your mind itself, it's very pure. Nature of the mind is light. This all the defilement are added onto it. Superficial, extrinsic, incidental and accidental situations around us create these thoughts that happening in you. So from childhood, that what you experience brought you here today to think like this. Because if you just imagine if you're born in a completely different place and the way you think today going to become totally different. So then out of that added defilements, our like, dislike, our craving, our attachment, our hatred, our anger, our jealousy, our enmity, this everything came as misunderstanding the perception. Because just imagine that the very nature of the mind is pure, and then by the time when you experience the world, when you misunderstand it, and it creates some kind of defilement. That's how the defilements arise there. Otherwise, it is not gifted by somebody, or it is not a kind of like a gave to you as a punishment, or it is not a kind of like something like a bad karma that you have to sacrifice. No. So understand this basic principle of your very nature of life. So whatever that you go through in the world happens according to the capacity of your understanding. So just in case if you develop your capacity, what will happen? That what you experience today going to become different. So then just imagine that all the defilements, all the anger, hatred, jealousy, envy, cravingness, this all kind of like unwholesome actions, improfitable actions, that everything can change once you change your understanding. So that means then it is your own responsibility to purify your own mind, because once you start to purify the mind, by the time what happened, this defilement is going to go away. So then always remember, when it comes to anger, hatred, jealousy, envy, fear, unsatisfaction, this everything, it is not you. Sometimes say, I am an angry person. It is not you. So understanding it is very important, because once you recognize that, you are not going to label another person as like that person. You are not going to tell, oh, that's a jealousy person, that's an angry person, that's a bad person. No, now you know, even though that person go through certain misbehavior, it is not that person. It's whatever the background, whatever the environment, whatever the society, culture, traditions added by the time created that environment. So once you recognize that, you are capable to purify this deeply and bring that deeper inherent light. So how you can do that? Because just by thinking, you can't do it from the very first level. So that's why there are basic principles you have to. Why? Because we we misunderstood it, because of there are reasons: greed, hatred, and the delusion. So then slowly you have to reverse the mechanism. So then slowly you have to cut down the greed, little by little, little by little. Physically, mentally, start to work to cut down the greed. And so that is why you have to practice the generosity. That is one way that you can strengthen the purity of mind and uplift the frequency of mind. You can go into higher frequency when you practice with the generosity. That is one thing. Another one is loving kindness and compassion. So that also very necessary. So that will help you to purify your mind, and that also take you to higher vibration. And sometimes, so you have to start from the beginning and see yourself sometimes when it comes to loving kindness and compassion. Maybe we have the loving kindness and compassion towards the people, whoever like us. whoever make people happy, that make us happy, or become good with us, or validate our opinions. And if somebody go against us, say no to us, and do completely different things, sometimes we get disappointed, mad, unhappy. So your loving kindness and compassion should go beyond your emotions. So that's why little by little you have to increase and strengthen the ability to absorb this discomfort and keep the balance. So expand the loving kindness and compassion. Another one is the wisdom. So that's why our mental capacity to develop that. So there are a few ways that you can develop the wisdom. It is just not only meditation. So one is start to listen, think, develop your thinking capacity. Get out of this narrow-minded personality. Look from each and every angle. Don't be biased to any kind of views. Don't just be with culture, tradition, believing, following system, or anything like that. Be open. So that's where the listening is very necessary. And today, reading, watching, and you become open to higher knowledge. So that is one path. It slowly uplifts your wisdom to a certain level. Another one is deeply purify with the tranquility state, tranquilizing the mind, calming down the mind, taming the mind, keeping balance with the mind, practicing with the mind, know about the mind, will give you deeper understanding to have this undisturbed mind. And it will little by little expand the strength of your mind. Remember this, everything starts with the mind. That's why we focus to that. And the bhavana me jnana. So then deeply, thoroughly examine, observe, developing analytical, critical understanding, and see deeply from where this all arises. So once you come to that level, now remember the steps. So our mind is not strong enough to recognize the truth or the reality. Why? Because of this added defilement. So that means your mind is naturally itself light and pure, clear. So then what happened by the time, because of our environment, because of our culture, tradition, what we see, hear, smell, taste, and slowly we go through misunderstanding. And then now these thinking patterns became like this. So this everything arises from the mind. So the mind build up the body. The mind build up this, the consciousness and the matter, and thoughts, and the form and names. So then, how you can purify the mind? To see the truth. Remember how you experience the soul out of the mind, how the body happen, how the consciousness, matter, thoughts, and the form, name, this all arise because immediate change, immediate impermanent. So it's kind of like just ordinary mind, we cannot catch that speed. We are just so weak as ordinary people. We are just kind of like we are too slow to recognize that mental speed. But that is why this whole experience arises, because of that speed. So then, now to purify, the very method to get into that, to purify your mind. Get out of this all added defilements. Get out of this all the incidental, accidental situations. What you can do for that? And out of this all, what happened? We develop the greed, hatred, and the delusion. So then you have to slowly withdraw, get out of it. How you can do that? Not to just get mad about it, disappointed about it, sad about it. Knowingly yourself, this is not a karma. This is not a punishment. This is not somebody gifted. This is our own behavior of understanding. So then develop. So first thing you have to develop the generosity. And then try to uplift the frequency of mind and develop the strength to absorb and get the dust out of your eyes. Develop the clear vision. So generosity will help you to have it for a certain level. So the next method, developing loving kindness and compassion, expanding the boundary line of this loving kindness and compassion. Not only your inner circle, not only your own people, not only your family members, not only your relatives, not only your village people, not only your country people, not only people you know, not only nice people, not only good people. You expand the boundary to get all living beings to inside it. And so that will uplift your frequency, mental frequency, go to a higher frequency. And it will slowly get into that purity, the mind itself, and start to bring that light up. And the next one is the wisdom. To get into wisdom, the very first thing, develop the open mind. And start to learn. Always go to a more higher knowledge. Listen, look around, see, hear, watch. Use every tool yourself to learn. So today, everything in our fingertips. So you can get the knowledge in many different ways. Get the higher knowledge. Develop profitable skills. And the next one, developing the tranquility state. So develop the very quality of your mind, not only quality of information, quality of mind. how you can develop that? Having the undisturbed mind, tranquilizing the mind, calming down the mind, taming the mind. So that is what you need practice. Because until you put it to practice, you can't get it to your mind. So that's why put it to practice, put it to practice. 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day, put it to practice. And the bhavana mein jnana, so deeply, thoroughly, you observe, analyze how this experience arises. When you start to observe that, the experience, what are the experience? Thoughts, feelings, sensations. So these things, when you observe, what happens? Then you see it arises because of the mind. It arises not only because of the mind, it arises because of the mind change immediately. That the mind immediately impermanent. And once you know that, see that, you experience everything because of the mind. But once you start to get into the light, the higher frequency or the higher vibration, and when you start to see the truth, what you see, again you say the very nature of the mind. And once you know, what know means not kind of like this conventional knowing. Once you see, once you experience, this mental behavior, this immediate impermanent in your mind, your liberation happens. Your transformation, your freedom you gain. You get out of this all the freedom. You get out of the body, you get out of the consciousness, you get out of the matter, you get out of the thoughts, you get out of the names, forms, this everything. And it is an irreversible transformation. So that's why you have to practice little by little, little by little, get into your true nature. Your own reality, not about somebody else, or not about following somebody, that your own inner nature. The truth or the light is there in you. So it is your birthright to get into that. Because eons by eons, birth to birth, death to death, what happened? We went through this misunderstanding. And because of that, what happens, like that candle flame can give the light to another candle, like that your mind, your consciousness, what happened, it go again and again. Even though it's burning, it is changing. There is no solid flame, candle flame, itself like a concrete one. It's always changing, burning. But it has the ability to give it to another, and it can light this entire world. But still the first one is not going to disappear like that. It has ability to photocopy. So like that, your consciousness, your mind has ability to create more and more thoughts. So that is what happens every day. Look at the world every day, new things come. From where this new thing? All come from the mind. All come from the mind. So this is kind of like a waving. We are the weaving the world around us. You are tailoring yourself, your worldly garment around you. And then you wear it. It's not going to end again and again, again and again. You will making different kind of garments. So where is this going to end? There's no end. And the world is more and more, when it comes with more and more thoughts, more and more violence going to happen. More jealousy, hatred, anger, attachment, disappointment, unhappiness, joy, pleasure. This is all going to be in the world every day. And because of the news nowadays, we can see it very easily right away. But this all happen all the time. So then remember, there is no world going to be so calm, peaceful, everything nice, everything happen the way you want. There is no world like that. It is a fantasy. It's a kind of like a childish dream. So we are hoping, we are looking for that. Why? Because our mind is not strong enough to see the truth. So then we are dreaming and we are chasing and we are going behind that daydream. But still, there is a way, rather than go behind the world, if you start to go inside you, you find that light. So then, as you know, even though you look the right thing, that means your happiness, your transformation, your freedom, your liberation, your nibbana, of course, you are looking the right thing. Of course, you are looking happiness. It makes sense when it comes to you. No one is wrong when it comes to when they look the happiness. Everybody have the birthright to be happy. No one has right to take someone else's happiness. But still the problem is, even though we look the right thing, we look it in the wrong place. Where? The outside world. It is not there. So then where it is? It is deeper in you. So then if you are capable to look it, you look the right thing. If you have to look it at the right place, now then you find it. So the meditation is that. So we look for the happiness, we look for the good health, and we look for the success, we look for the contentment, we look for the joy, we look for the pleasure. Those are very human needs. Nothing wrong with this anything. Those are the very parts of the world. Everybody like to be happy. What's wrong with that? It's okay to be happy. But the thing is, if you look it at the wrong place, you're not going to find it. Then you get disappointed, unhappy again and again. But if you really want it, and then look at the right place. That's why there is a hidden truth. There is something hidden. We can't see. So that's why we keep looking. And there is extremely hidden truth. What is that? There is a hidden truth. So that means it's the happiness, satisfaction joy, pleasure, contentment, this everything inside us. That is the hidden truth. There is extremely hidden truth. Only the Buddha, for the very first time, recognized that. That's why we venerate the Buddha. What is that truth? Ah, you know, you have to drink some water to digest that. That's the beauty of the Buddha's teaching. Remember that. No one can challenge for that. When the day you understand this, you become kind of like a half, you just kind of attain to the half Nibbana. You know? So what is that truth? So there is a hidden truth. That hidden truth is the happiness, the joy, contentment, satisfaction, freedom, not in the outside, it is inside you. The extremely hidden truth is you are the only one can get it by your own bodily, verbally, mentally actions. There is no one can help you to get into that. Of course, conventional level, this kind of way we can help to tell that truth. What we can tell you, there is no one to help you. Because most of time people say, I will help you, I will do this for you, you no need to worry about it. You know, people build with the promise. You know, people so comfortable, they go to sleep believing the promise. So that's conventional world, it is okay. You know, the president come and, you know, put the hand on the holy book and, you know, promise. You know, the law and order people, whoever, you know, when they sign for their career, you know, when they take their responsibility, they promise. Husband, wife, you know, when they get married, you know, they promise each other. You know, children, parents, you know, they promise. And we sleep on the top of that promise. The conventional level, it's okay. But see that is why it's kind of like a very childish mind. Because we don't have, if you don't have enough strength to understand the truth, you can't digest it. This. If you are not enough strong to see the reality, you get disappointed about it. What is that? Only you can help for you. There's no one. So don't wait for anybody. So don't go behind anyone. So don't have hopes regarding anyone. Not, remember, this is not about the conventional level. It's about your inner freedom. It's about your happiness, your success, your satisfaction, your contentment. There's no one can give that to you. It is your choice. So that's why every day remind it yourself. That extremely hidden truth. Buddha is the one who taught to this world. But still there are a lot of people think there is somebody will come and protect you. There is somebody will help you somewhere. There is someone, this unknown, unseen, world, one day going to bring all the dreams to come true. It's not going to happen. Only you can find your freedom. Only you can find your happiness. So try to understand it. Work for that. One day we have to get out of this conventional things. One day you have to be just by yourself. You have to handle this everything just by you. So that day, that whatever you know about you, going to be there with you. So at least try to know something about that. So that's why this practice will give you that deeper the understanding and this extremely hidden truth unveil. And you can do something for yourself. And by the time you become generous, develop the loving kindness and compassion, have some wisdom, and see the very nature of the mind. Because mind is the creator. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left neck, head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan it towards yourself and say Sopatveva. Oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So if your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. And by the time, see how everything change itself, moment by moment. In the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. First of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.